reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network.
You're listening to LOTRO Reporter on the MMO Reporter Network, brought to you by Audible.com. Check out the newest audiobooks at audibletrial.com/MMO Reporter. And by Doghouse Systems. Use the coupon code MMO Reporter at checkout and get a free solid-state drive with your next PC.
Hey everybody, Chris here from MMO Reporter. First of all, I want to thank everyone who backed our Kickstarter. You are amazing. Thank you so much. I also want to mention that we are continuing our fundraising for PAX Prime at MMOReporter.com/support with a stretch goal of getting a video from the meetup. Yes, that's right. You heard it correct. There is a meetup. We'll be meeting at the Rock Bottom this year, and you can find all the information that you need, including the RSVP link at MMOReporter.com/PAX. If you're planning to go to the meetup, make sure that you let me know. Thanks again for supporting the Kickstarter, everyone, and for continuing to listen to all the shows on the MMO Reporter Network, and I hope to see you in-game.
Welcome to LOTRO Reporter, episode 287. I'm your host, Cari, and I am joined this week by somebody who has been slacking, Steve. Hello? Hello?
I'm not Steve.
You're not Steve?
No!
Oh, it's Layanor! I thought Chris said that I was getting a new co-host named Steve.
No.
Oh.
Screw that.
Okay, welcome
That's my
back.
job.
All right, welcome back. We've missed you.
Oh yeah, it's I had to take a break for quite a while, and but I'm back now.
Yay, welcome
and
back.
I'm running around with my head cut off, preparing for PAX.
Yeah, we get to go.
Ooh.
Can you believe that Kickstarter funded during our live show?
I know. I was like, holy cow.
I'm like,
and
I
Chris
was
couldn't
trying
believe
to
it
figure
either.
out why in the world Chris was professing his love to me all of a sudden out of the blue, and it wasn't me, it was like the listeners, but he didn't specify for a few seconds, and I was slightly confused and then very excited.
Oh wow. Yeah, listening back, I was like, when the I Love You started to come out,
I was like,
I was like, who's he talking to?
That was my same question. Apparently, it was our fans because we are going to PAX. So excited!
Awesome.
He has got us. You know, you're doing your back-end PAX prep. I am getting scheduled to go see crazy games and all kinds of stuff. So I'm getting excited because it's like in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah. I've been planning where I need to be, what computer I'm going to be using, like mine or my friends or whoever's is more powerful, whoever has the best internet.
Yeah.
I'm making plans.
Yeah, we're gonna be taxing the heck out of my internet, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Well, so what have you been doing in game, Layanor, since you've been gone? Have you been getting to play much?
I haven't been able to get into the game that much, or onto gaming in general. I did get into a little bit of Epic Battles last night. And I stepped into the new instances, but I didn't have a group with me, but I just kind of stepped into them to check them out. And I think it's called Labyrinth, Sunken Labyrinth or something that it's called.
Okay.
I didn't get into there, but the atmosphere of that area is really, really cool, and I want to go through that instance. So I'm looking forward to getting into the game and playing some of these new instances.
Very cool. Awesome. I imbued weapons. It was confusing.
Was it?
Uh-huh.
Did you just click on random stuff?
Yeah. No. I actually tried to pay attention. So I go to the little imbuement guy, and I click and I say an imbue, and it's like, wait, that's not what I want to imbue. And they're like, there's no way to go past that one that I could see. So I closed it, and I said, maybe it's because I have the one I want to imbue equipped. So I unequipped the ones I wanted to imbue and equipped ones that I didn't really want to imbue. That didn't help. I don't know if you can put, like, weapons that, like, legendary weapons that you are, like, leveling into your bank vault, so you don't accidentally have to imbue those to get to the ones you want to imbue.
Oh, I have no idea.
I haven't tried that. I may try that next time. So, I now have a level 100 weapon that only has 3, whatever those are, legacies on it, or whatever they're called. Because it was only halfway leveled.
Oh.
Yeah, so that one's going to be sitting there probably doing nothing ever. Not that I really cared. It really didn't have any legacies I wanted, but it would not let me go past that one to get to the one I wanted to imbue. That was annoying. It was really annoying. So maybe I missed the drop-down box, but I clicked, I looked, it was like, imbue weapons. It popped up. I'm like, okay, that's not the one I want. And then...
That's weird.
Yeah, it was odd. So I ended up with a couple, I think there were at least one book, and then it went to the book I wanted, and then it went to the weapon I wanted, and I think maybe I had to go through one other weapon, but that was okay. That one was at max level too. But anyway, it was a little odd. So I'm like, okay, this is cool, and I'm like, ooh, I get to use some of these relics that I had, and I've, the reason I actually did this was because I couldn't survive. I mean, it was crazy. I'd go out and something would sneeze at me and I would fall over. So it's like, I know these are level 100, but these must be harder level 100s. So I went in and I did the imbuement, and everything's fine. I do like the fact that if you don't have what you want, you can change it with mithril coins. It's not the most economic way to do it, but it is possible. And then I also, after I leveled one of them up, lesson learned, after I leveled one up a little bit, I used a starlit crystal. So the legacy that I added on there is like 2 levels lower than the rest of them. But I didn't have to use like truckloads of mithril coins to add a legacy to that one.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So it was, I'm not dying like I'm like, wet toilet paper or anything now, but.
Oh, so it did help then.
It did help.
Oh, okay.
It did help. I think I thought I had some essence gear that I was going to put on, but apparently I got the essences and didn't put the gear or something. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I think I need a little bit better gear. It's just that tipping point that if I don't like heal every third button I hit, if I get more than one or an elite on me, I'm down. So it's just at that tipping point where it's hard. I really have to pay attention. I'm not cakewalking through this, but it's doable if I'm careful. So that's what I did. It wasn't terrible, other than those few things I mentioned. And I am now hitting, and with my cosmetic weapons, I am hitting things with a beer stein. It's pretty awesome.
Just like some of the devs like to do.
Yes, exactly. So of course I was questing in Gondor, and I'm working on book 2, going through that. It looks like a war went through there.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's the section right next to Peligre. I'm not sure if it's central or western, but it's like Linahir, I think, and it's a big town that I get lost in. And just outside the town, it looks like they were laying siege to the place, and everywhere you turn around, there's like people crying, and buildings have burned down, and it looks like a war. So I was just thinking about how much different this looks. It looks like it's getting very dark, as opposed to, hey, let's go deliver pies in the Shire. And even worse than Angmar, I would think, because it's more active fires and burning and things out to get you, and the birds, the Karen birds and all that stuff. So anyway, so that's what I have been doing in game. And then I logged into Pathfinder Online and died a lot.
Yay!
Yeah. All right. Hey, Layanor, we have 28 people who really like us.
We sure do. Thank you guys.
Yes.
As Chris would say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Yeah. So we have 28 of our favorite people who are helping support the network every month, and that helps us get paid and us get equipment, and you guys get really, really cool songs that have things about trolls that look like wagons in them. I was laughing so hard he used that line. It was hilarious.
Yep, he did use that line.
He did. Yep. So yeah, thank you guys so much. If you would like to check out what the Patreon rewards are, things like that, you can check us out at patreon.com/MMOreporter. Now, if you'd like to send us random topics, and Kevin did send us random topics.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you can email us at lotro.reporter@gmail.com. I would love to hear your experience with imbuement, because even after having been there a while and reading all the guides, I still was confused. But anyway, and also, the Thursday before PAX, and I don't have the date yet, we are having a meetup for our listeners to come meet us at PAX. I'm so excited about this. It's at a different place this year. It is at, instead of the Elephant and Castle, we're having it at the Rock Bottom, which is a brewery, and they have beers and more beers. All right. That would be Thursday, August 27th.
The beers.
The beers. They have flights of the beers, and I don't.
The beers.
So stay tuned, because somewhere in this show we're going to be putting Chris's announcement and stuff about the PAX meetup.
Oh, that's going to be in the beginning of the show.
Okay, so you heard about it.
It's already happened in the past.
Yeah, so be sure to RSVP. We love to see you guys. This is the sometimes the only time I get to see some of my favorite LOTRO listeners, LOTRO Reporter listeners, and listeners in general. And you know, even if he says, "Hey, we're full up," you know who you are. You can still come. Yeah, it's like, where were you last year? Well, they said they were full. I'm like, you're on my list.
You're on my list. Get in here.
You guys are always on my list. So
we already told the bouncers.
Yep. All right, so that's it. So we got some news coming up. We got a Dub Diary.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's kind of an important...
What are those?
We've been getting a lot of them. We
I
have
know.
one on world closures, and speaking of, hey, Layanor, did you hear they announced the world closures?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. So
They're killing Bob.
I know, but Bob Square's coming back.
Oh.
Yeah, Chris and I decided that the new server's name will be Bob Squared. I wanted to name him George or something, but no, Chris was Bob Squared.
Or Bobby. Since it's a new, younger server.
Yes, a younger server. Which apparently could have held, is a pretty powerful server, according to Athena.
Yeah, I did listen to the interview, and they were actually considering moving the entire population down to 2 servers because it would have handled all of the population.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that one server probably would have been just for Brandywine alone.
Might have been.
It might have been for Brandywine and Landreval, and then all the other servers all on one major big server.
Yeah. I don't know if they want to keep the servers like each world is its own server. But they did mention, I don't know if they considered it, but they did say that it would have been technically possible to put the entire population on 2 servers, is what they said.
Mm-hmm. Since they're already going with the opening new offices and opening up or bringing in new gigantic servers, I'm wondering if they're going to start investing in mega servers, which was players being able to play with anybody on any of those new servers, since they are new servers. That might be something that is possible now.
I don't know. I was very interested. I was very interested to read an art. They were talking about Bullroar and how people were having problems porting in characters from Laura Lynn in to do the transfer to Bullroar. They weren't getting their items correct.
Mm-hmm.
And if they had characters from the U.S. servers, and that's what the problem. That's what they said the problem was. Why they couldn't move people from point to point, that the from different the EU servers to the US servers, is there something with the way they did itemization that does not work together, and stuff would get lost. So that's, at least they gave us the reason why, and people could see that in action.
Yeah,
Stuff went missing when they ported them in because they were on the two different servers.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, back to what we're talking about. Oh, I don't know if the tech can handle. I mean, the game systems will allow for like cross server anything. That's a good question, though. I mean, if they can move stuff, why couldn't they let people play together?
Yeah, it is a good question. I mean, they're making it that you can transfer over to a different server just by a click of a button. So maybe not have such a permanent option.
Huh? Oh, you mean like temporarily go over and then pop back, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. That's
My original opinion was, like mega servers, where if there's like layers, if there's too many people in a layer, it will open up a new layer and the overflow will go into those layers. A mega server is the exact opposite. If there are too less players in an area, the game will actually go to different servers and tell people that are in the exact same area in the game and tell them, would you like to go over to a more
populated area?
More populated area, and you can click yes or no. I think Guild Wars 2 does that.
Okay, yeah, they did.
And some other games too. Secret World does it, depending on where you are, and there are a few other games that do it too. So it's just kind of something that has been getting pretty popular over the last 2 years, I think. Oh, WildStar incorporated it as well.
And I think ESO was built on that. They've got one server, period. And supposedly, as you play with people, the more you play with people, the more often you see them. The less you play with people, the less often. That's the theory. I have no idea. I haven't spent enough time in there to see if that really is true.
I gotta get that yet.
You should pick it up. We could play.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay, so back to the dev diary. This was a dev diary on how to move your kin. So, do you have a kinship on one of the closing worlds? This is what you do. The first thing you do is you decide which of the living worlds, the worlds that survived, you're going to go to. So, once you do that, then you
Not Brandywine.
Not right now.
Not right now.
They're actually hoping some people would probably move off Brandywine when possible, so they could get some people to move on Brandywine. So you choose a date for your kinship to move, and then let them know any way you can. Your members know any way they can. Messages, IMs, guild websites, whatever. So then you basically you tell everybody. And then the kin leader moves to the world of choice on the day selected. So, and the kinship on the original world will be disbanded, and then everybody can move into the new world, and they should, in theory, be added directly to their old kin. That is the theory.
Okay, so all of those characters will be added to the kin? So
all of the existing characters that were in the kin, if they move, that character moves to the server. So say somebody's coming from Winfola and they're going to Arkenstone. The kin leader moves to Arkenstone first, and then as the players follow to Arkenstone, they should be automatically added to the kin on Arkenstone.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, if there's a naming conflict, you'll get a -1. There was a question about somebody said, I made a kin to hold a name. Freylorn said, you should be able to disband that kin, say, on Arkenstone, that's, Happy Pony People or something, and then move Happy Pony People over, and you won't get the -1. So, you will get a free rename, but you have to contact customer service. I don't know. It could have gone even worse than Pony People. So.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So, anyway, so that should happen. And then for the kinship stuff, the stuff from the kin house, you don't have to empty it all out. It will either go back to the person who owns it if they have an active account. If that account character no longer exists, that stuff will be lost. Mm-hmm. And then the unbound stuff goes with the kin leader to the new place. When you buy the kin house, it'll be an escrow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it should work. If you do land and you get a -1 behind your name, you have to contact customer support to get your kin name changed.
Okay.
Yep.
I would almost... well, there's a lot of kins that work on a lot of the things that they put in their kin house. I know my kin for sure has collected pretty much all of the raid housing items.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some kind of rare ones to get, such as the Mirkwood welcome mats, where if you click on it, you get the Lich King or somebody that appears on the mat for like a few seconds and then goes away.
Cool.
There's stuff like that are in the game that it's like rare drops. Another example is if you go through the Dragon Raid, there is a fireplace, there is a statue, and those don't always drop, and it's always one. So, somebody has to roll on it to get it. So I would kind of say that if your kin's bored, don't bring very many things over from your kin house.
Yeah, get them. Well, and if those items are bound, then they go back to the person who they're bound to.
Right.
But hey, yeah, that's a good idea. That'll keep you busy.
Right, and that'll, you guys will be raiding on the new servers, and you might run into new people at that point. That would be a great way to introduce yourselves.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. We did have patch notes that I missed. So 16.3 hit. There is a new launcher-based transfer service, which we knew about. For character and account item transfers, they will be turning that on slowly over the next several weeks.
We're talking game launchers.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were talking about putting hobbits into catapults.
No, not this week.
Oh God, I'd love that.
Yeah, no, they're probably saving that. Oh, did you hear? I'm sure you heard the interview. I was like squeeing when they were talking about how you could run from one end of Minas Tirith to the other at this point.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, really?
Like all 7 tiers of it.
So it sounds like it's one big city.
Right. I don't know if it's going to be instanced off though.
Well, they didn't say run and then stop for loading screen. They said run from one end to the other.
Right. Yeah,
like, oh.
I'm. There's going to be a lot of people with war steeds riding up and down.
Oh yeah. Well, I was just thinking this morning when I was riding through Linethir, I think is the name of the town. The cities and towns have gotten bigger since we've hit in Gondor. They're like spread out monstrously huge. There's like these huge walled cities, and I think they're practicing. The other good thing that I missed, and this is important, is premium and VIP players will be awarded 2 extra character slots. So there's 2 extra character slots for free, because of course, odds are you've got at least one character moving from one to. I was lucky. Most of my where I have most of my characters are on surviving servers, so I don't have to move anybody. Mm-hmm. I might move one from Crick Hollow over to Landreval, but probably, I don't know. I'll think about it.
Yeah, I had Braxwolf messaging me sarcastically saying, "How does it feel to be on one of the servers that isn't closing down?"
I was like, oh, yeah, I've got characters on Brandywine, cool. I've got characters on Crick Hollow, cool. I've got characters on Landreval, cool. Got
Cool.
Characters on Arkenstone, awesome. Got characters on Laurelin, great. I think that's why they picked those, is because I had characters on them.
Well, of course, they listen to the show.
Yes.
When I first started playing the game, there were other games where I was playing, and I hardly seen any other players playing in the area that I was playing in.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people were telling me because it was a starter zone, or because I was on a different server than everybody else, and I didn't know that stuff. So when I came to LOTRO, I actually went to the forums first and started looking for conversations about what server was popular, or just like active.
Mm-hmm.
And there were so many complaints about Brandywine being overpopulated, and I thought, that's the one I want to be on.
Oh, okay. Fredless had a very interesting article. I think it was, I'm going to get the server wrong, and I do apologize, but he interviewed somebody, and I want to say it was Evernight. I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, I love the name of that server. I wish they would keep that.
But he was talking about how he was like 34th in the queue for Brandywine and decided to try a different server and went to that one, and they have made it like it's a special, very noob-friendly, community.
Mm-hmm.
And they're hoping to bring that to wherever they go. And I apologize. I don't remember the link or anything like that, but I thought that was kind of cool that somebody, they were headed to Brandywine and went, oh, and life sent them someplace else. I think when I actually, were new characters closed? Was Brandywine closed to new characters for a while?
Yes, they were.
Yeah,
Not for making new characters, but they were locked down multiple times for character transfers.
So was Landreval. I had to wait almost 6 months to get a character transfer open to Landreval.
You could have just made a new character in that time.
I did make a new character, but I liked the one I had, and she was like almost level cap, and I wanted to take her over.
Oh.
Yep.
That's boring.
No, it's not.
Just do it.
Uh-huh. All right. So that's what was in the release notes. We're having a Buried Treasure weekend this weekend. Buried Treasure this weekend.
Yay! Money.
Yeah, I haven't been to a Buried Treasure event for a while. I've got to check on my I think I've got like a bunch of coins for that or something.
Yeah, I gotta make sure that they didn't add in a new mount. They usually don't. They haven't added one to that one for a couple of years now. I actually went into the summer festival like 3 days before it ended, and I didn't even get the mount for that, so I had no time to get the mount, unfortunately.
It was a pretty mount too. I have it.
It was. I liked it. I didn't know which quest to exploit the most, and I don't mean cheat. What I mean is by farming it the heck out of it. Yeah, I didn't know which one to just keep constantly doing over and over and over again. Like the winter one is always the ale. The ale where they give you the sticks and you can beat up hobbits.
Oh yeah.
The other one, which is the shrew stomping. Ones that you can do over and over and over again. I don't think the summer festival has that.
No, you've got the races, like the eating races and the drinking races. You can do once a day, and then
I think they reduced those down to once an hour now because I tried it and there was an hour cooldown on it.
Okay.
But it was late at night, so it could have been when the server was going to be clearing all the cooldowns for all that stuff.
And then the horse races gives you 3. So
right.
That would be 6. And then there's a couple up at the party tree where you can do both of them at the same time and run around and find things. Mm-hmm. But I think the best fishing That's what you do, is you grind the fishing out, because you can do an hour of fishing at each spot, and you take those and turn those into the tokens. That's what they're expecting you to grind, is the fishing.
Okay.
Which is not what's going to happen.
Yeah. I did notice that the vendors had all of the summer horses on them, though.
Yep.
Like all of them.
Yep, you could get them with Mutual Coins. You could get every summer horse that you had ever missed.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have to. I'm pretty sure I missed the one from the year before as well.
Yeah, I ended
was
up with
missing
both
a couple
of
of.
them this year.
I was missing like 15 tokens or something like that,
Mm.
and I planned it out where the last day was gonna be the day that I actually get all the tokens and trade it in for that festival mount. But unfortunately, the date on the Casual Stroll to Mordor guide was wrong, and it ended like 3 days early or something like that. So I was like, dang it!
Oh.
I'll get it next year, and then I couldn't get on, and now I only had, again, 3 days.
Yeah.
Summers are bad.
Yeah, it is. It's busy time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's all we had for news this week. So in community, you know how the last time we recorded we were talking about Kevin and Graboids?
Yep.
We got a letter from Kevin.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
It's a long letter from Kevin, so...
Wow.
Yeah, I like Kevin's letters, though. So, you know, he loves... Yes, we know how much Kevin loves Tremors. Yes, and he was talking about how he uses a lot of movie quotes in, like, Kinchat and in raids, when they raiding and things like that.
Take that, you mother humper.
Watch out, those glow rooms have a good 6-foot reach. Anyway, so he has some good quotes. There's some pretty quotes. You know, hey man, I got 5 alts to feed.
Mm-hmm.
So he said that there's one that only worked once, and it was when they tried a new strategy in the Deeping Wall raid. Didn't go so well overall, and the loot wasn't great. Someone says, what are we going to do next? Right as Aragon was calling out to clear the wall, and I shouted, wiping this raid with no survivors. Then half the raid exploded on the wall. It was classic. So anyway, so he has some great stories on that, and that was I really do appreciate his letters because they're very fun.
Oh, he's got stuff from Total Recall.
Yeah, he does. And from Wayne's World, you know, hang up guys, I can't find my keys. And he wants to know if we do anything goofy like that.
I've been known to use the line, I ain't got time to bleed. Which is from Predator. Jesse the Body Ventura says it. There's other quotes, too, that I've used. Can't think of them right now. What about you?
I don't tend to quote things, but I did do something very, very silly. So in Final Fantasy XIV, the version 1.0, they had these bunny hats that they looked like bunny samurai hats, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think I've mentioned this before, how so there was a running joke in our link shell about how whoever had the bunny hat on, not to follow them because they would be getting lost. So, you know, if you would get lost, it's like, now wait, where's your bunny hat? Because the bunny hat was required for getting lost. And back in 1.0, you could get lost so badly because it was like this big open world of nothingness. You could run right past an entrance to where you needed to be and be like gone before you realized it. And I can't tell you how many times I did that. And then
I'm going through the list here. He does have game over.
Yeah?
Game over, man. Game over. That's, oh God, that is so used. I know so many people who have said that line, and I hear it all the time in YouTube videos, on Twitch. That is probably the #1 line used.
Yep. He says it's pretty sad when he makes a quote, nobody knows it, and there's an awkward silence. So he wonders
Oh yeah, that's always
if he
tough.
should say it's a quote or just let them think he's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, those are the tough ones. Yeah. I've always loved quoting a lot of stuff from Army of Darkness, which is the sequel to Evil Dead 2. Which is stuff like, this is my boomstick! And stuff like that. Hail to the king, baby.
Yeah.
And, groovy. So I've always liked quoting stuff like that. Those are pretty much the ones that I remember the most. You got any more?
I don't have any more particular, quotes. I mean, we do have a Bard's Beards and Longbeards, a few of those. We always talk about, we need bail money. But they're not movie quotes. And then one of the guys always says, when we love you all in totally appropriate ways, of course. But yeah. So speaking of movies, this just popped in my head, and I hadn't heard this was in production, and I'm like super excited. Steven Spielberg is doing Ready Player One.
Oh yes.
And it's got
I've heard of the book. I don't know what it's about. I'm pretty sure it's about video games.
No, it's even better than video games. You've totally got to read this book, Layanor.
For whatever reason, I have the story of Ender's Game in my head whenever I hear Player One.
Yeah, not.
Am I even close?
I don't know. I haven't read Ender's Game. I don't know. So, Ready Player One is about this guy who made the biggest virtual reality game. People just basically live in this game. They go to school in this game. I mean, he built a virtual reality that the Earth that has no water, no electricity, it lives in. I mean, and he dies, and he leaves the key to running the whole game in the game. And you have to find the Easter eggs. And he is the guy that created the game, and the guy who wrote the book is a huge 80s nerd geekdom fan. So we have Tomb of Horrors, we have, The Last Starfighter, we have all of that in this game. And it's all about these people who are racing to find all of the clues, to unlock everything, to finish, to get control of this virtual reality. And when you log into the virtual reality, it says Ready Player One every time you log in. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, so you go to school in the game, and your teacher...
Do they do Death Blossom?
I don't know if they do the Death Blossom.
Oh God! If they have Last Starfighter, they have to do Death Blossom at some point.
Yeah, well, they had they did the Tomb of Horrors, and they anyway. And since it's Spielberg, I figure it's going to be pretty decent because he knows how to handle this kind of story. Mm-hmm. And I am super excited. I had nothing more than what I saw on CSTM, which it has a release date or a possible release date. And Spielberg's doing it,
Awesome.
But yeah, so hey, speaking of, if you go to audibletrial.com/MMO Reporter, you can get your 1 month free, and I bet Ready Player One's on there. I wonder who is the narrator. Hang on.
And you can play that audiobook on your new Doghouse Systems PC. So go to doghousesystems.com and use the coupon code MMO Reporter to get a free 120 gigabyte solid state drive in addition to the 1 terabyte drive that comes with your system. You can fill it all with audiobooks.
Yeah. Will Wheaton reads Ready Player One.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. And if German is your primary language, then you can hear it in German.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's good.
That's good. I highly recommend this book. It is a really, really good book, especially if you grow up in or around the 80s. The guy knows his stuff, and you will be like, "Oh my gosh, I remember that," and things like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool, and it is like, oh, this is what happens when we fall into World of Warcraft when it takes over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because so you can have this medieval world over here and a sci-fi world over there, and you can go from one point to the other.
This sounds more like Second Life.
Yeah, it is. It's basically a Second Life. Absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
it is. The entire world lives in Second Life, works in Second Life, makes money in Second Life. Never has to leave their house. Kind of
Right.
thing. Yeah.
On a real quick side note, since we're talking about movies, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is in production.
Okay.
They're starting to make some of the animatronics. The animatronics are going to be real animatronics. There might be some CG, but they're going to actually make creepy animatronics.
Ew, yay.
Yep, yeah, yeah, yeah. We're all wondering how bad the movie's going to botch the game.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It
Yeah.
could be really good. It could be. It could be really good, but unfortunately, the reason why that game is so popular is because the players themselves have just built such a lore around that game,
Oh.
and it's so popular because of that. If anybody was interested in Cloverfield a year before Cloverfield came out, if you went to the website, there were all these things about there's a monster in the ocean, and we have pictures, and it's linked to these people who are in an apartment somehow because we found traces of this stuff, and there's this other company that makes slushies and they are part of the drilling company that drilled in the ocean, and they just kept giving all of these little like one sentences pieces to the puzzle
Mm-hmm.
over an entire year, and the community that built up around that was like, oh, I just found this website today and it's actually linked to the Cloverfield movie, and it's about one of the guys that are in the movie. It's his actual website. And, all of this was, of course, fake. It was made for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the amount of, like, information and, like, puzzle solving and mystery and all that was all going around was killed when the movie came out because there's the movie. You know, all your answers are right there. It's not the answers that you thought.
Oh, yeah. But the whole point was to build up hype for the movie.
Yes, and as soon as the movie came out, that community was just dead.
Oh, yeah.
So it's such a it's a player-driven, community, and I don't know if this movie's going to be able to nail that. It's going to be really, really strange. Like the movie's going to have to leave like a whole bunch of stuff in the dark for the fans of the games to actually talk about the movie because that's what they like about it is it brings conversation, it brings mystery, it brings, puzzle solving and all that stuff. There's people that make videos about Five Nights at Freddy's
Mm-hmm.
daily on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
So, I don't know. I'm hoping.
Okay.
I'm hoping.
Let's see.
That's it. That's my rant's done. Let's end the show.
Okay, so you can email us as Kevin did, or tell and give us ideas and at lotro.reporter@gmail.com. You can tweet us at LOTRO You can follow us on Facebook. Just search for LOTRO Reporter. You can leave us a voicemail at 616-666-6778. And Bill says if it's less than 50% swears, we'll put it on the show. I guess Bill's editing and putting in the bleeps. You can follow us on YouTube, and you sure do want to follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/user/MMO Reporter Network, because in 2 weeks that thing is going to be so busy with PAX news and interviews and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So be sure to subscribe so you know exactly when new stuff comes out. You can also find us at LOTROreporter.com, as D. David did, who said thank you so much, great interview, in the comments there at LOTROreporter.com.
It was a good interview.
Then be sure to follow us at twitch.tv/MMO Reporter so you know when we go live. I think we might be doing, I don't know. I know they've been streaming some Heart of Thorns beta stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's some other stuff that's in beta that we might be able to stream at some point in time. I know Crowfall is a long way off, but they're super excited. The boys are super excited about that. I have no...
WildStar Beta is coming in. I don't know if you're going to be live streaming that, but I'm sure Chris is going to be live streaming that as soon as possible.
Yep, as soon as that is available. I know they're doing beta invites and stuff right now. I just ran across it on their website. Talk about the wrong time to uninstall WildStar on my computer. So you can follow me at the Cari Mac. It's TheCariMac. How can I follow you, Layanor?
They can follow me on Twitter at Layanor, Layanor. They can check me out on YouTube. Just look for Layanor or Layanor's Mind. And you can find me on Steam. So hit me up on Steam. I'm usually just bored.
Cool. No, you're not bored.
Talk to me. I'm lonely.
Oh dear. Oh. Okay. All right. On that lovely note, I think it's time to end the show. I'd like to thank everybody for downloading and listening as always. And as always, we do hope to see you in game.
Thanks for watching the video, everybody. Don't forget to check out all the other podcasts at MMOreporter.com or by clicking on any of the links here. And please check out our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MMOreporter. Thanks, everyone, and see you in game.